252, the hymn history for tonight is His Banner Over Me is Love. In your psalm books in Song 252, story goes like this. Perhaps no song that I have ever been permitted to have part in writing has traveled the world so quickly and gained as many friends, both young and old, as has this little gospel chorus. It was written in public in the early part of the 1960s. I was giving a concert at a little Baptist church in a place called Laurelton. The first half of the program had been completed, and before the concluding half, there was a time given for announcements and the offering. It was often my custom in those days to use this time to write an original song with a title supplied by someone in the audience. That night, the title was suggested by a teenager who called out, "His banner over me is love." We had just finished singing "Faith is a Victory," in which the second stanza begins with, "His banner over us is love." I am sure that this line had appealed to her, and so she had thought it worthy to be used as a title for the song that I would endeavor to write. Though the church was filled, it was not a very large one, which meant the offering would not take long, and I would not have long to write down my ideas. So in a matter of just a few minutes, a very simple melody had been composed and two phrases of words written which were to be repeated 3 times. I then ended with the words of what is now the title, "His Banner Over Me is Love." There was great enthusiasm as the song was introduced that night. Little did I dream that this was the beginning of a song in which people, young and old, from all over the world would take part in writing literally dozens of new stanzas. As is so often the case, it is not up to the composer to say if a song will succeed or not. The final vote always is in the hands of the people. I must confess that when His Banner Over Me was written, I felt that it would have a one-night stand and would be forgotten within a few days. How wrong I was, for soon I was receiving requests for copies from people who had heard it sung by some of the young people who had attended the concert that night. These requests are hurriedly filled with copies I made on my duplicator. To keep track of where the song had been written, I put B.C. Laurelton, Baptist Church, Laurelton, 1965, on them. At the time, I did not bother to put my name on it as the composer. Soon the request increased, and people also began asking for the song by B.C. Laurelton. And so in 1969, when I finally had a music plate made for printing, I decided why not use the name B.C. Laurelton as a pen name. This would also be of help. I had made some changes in the arrangement and had included some of the new verses that had been sent to me, so I could add, revised, and arranged by Alfred B. Smith. This has proven both an enjoyment and an embarrassment to me. An enjoyment in that I can listen to the song being sung and know that it is being sung because Christians, particularly the boys and girls, enjoy singing it, and it is not being sung because the composer is present. The embarrassment has been when folks ask the address of Mr. Laurelton so that they may write and thank him for the song. Someday it will be interesting to find out just how many different sets of words have been written for this little action song. But in the meantime, I feel sure that it would easily win the prize for having more co-authors than any other song ever written.
Jesus is the rock of my salvation, His banner over me is love. Jesus is the rock of my salvation, His banner over me is love. Jesus is the rock of my salvation, His banner over me is love. His banner over me is love. Jesus is the rock of my salvation, His banner over me is love. Jesus is the rock of my salvation, His banner over me is love. Jesus is the rock of my salvation, His banner over me is love. His banner over me is love.
Amen. Let's all